There is something interesting about the way we choose what enters our homes. We read food labels, we ask where vegetables are grown, we care about fabric composition, but very rarely do we ask what our candles are made of or where that material traveled from before it reached our table. If you live anywhere in Europe, whether it's Portugal, Germany, Lithuania, France, you have probably heard of soy candles. They are often presented as the natural alternative, the safe choice, the eco choice. And yet, there is another plant based wax grown across European fields, one you pass every spring when yellow flowers cover the landscape: rapeseed. Today, I want to talk about what rapeseed wax actually is and why most people have never heard much about it. Let's start from what is rapeseed wax. In simple words, rapeseed wax comes from the oil of rapeseed plant, also known as canola. The oil is pressed from the seeds. It is then gently processed, hydrogenated, so it becomes solid at room temperature. That solid form is what becomes candle wax. That's it. It is plant-based, it is not petroleum derived like paraffin, and it is not important tropical oil. In much of Europe, it is grown regionally, often within the same agricultural system that produce cooking oils and animal feed. When you see large yellow fields in spring across Germany, Poland, Denmark, France, that is rapeseed. So, in very simple terms, rapeseed wax is solidified European grown plant oil used as candle wax. Now, why you've heard of soy but not rapeseed? Soy became famous in candle marketing largely through American brands in the early 2000s. Large scale production, strong export systems, big marketing budgets. Soy was positioned as the eco alternative to paraffin, and it worked. But most soy used in candles is imported into Europe. It travels long distances and it is often grown on industrial monoculture farms. And in many cases globally, soy agriculture is linked to deforestation. Now, this does not mean all soy is bad. It depends on sourcing, certification. Narrative became simple. Soy equals natural. Meanwhile, rapeseed, grown extensively in Europe, remained quieter. It didn't need rebranding, it was already part of European agriculture. So, part of the reason you haven't heard much about rapeseed wax is not because it's new, it's because it wasn't aggressively marketed. Sometimes what is local doesn't shout. Many people today are understandably skeptical of words like eco, green, natural, non toxic. These words appear everywhere. So, what does sustainability mean in the context of candle wax? If you live in Europe, like me, sustainability can also mean proximity. Shorter transport routes, regional crops, and lower shipping emissions. Rapeseed is widely cultivated across Europe. When sourced responsibly, it can mean a shorter supply chain compared to imported soy or paraffin based wax. It also supports local agriculture ecosystems, including bee populations which rely on rapeseed flowering cycles in spring. Of course, it also depends on sourcing. Not all waxes are equal. What are we normalizing in our homes? materials that travel continents, or materials that grow within our own climate and countries. Now, let's leave agriculture behind and let's step into the home. Because ultimately, what matters is what happens at your table. How does rapeseed wax perform? When rapeseed wax candles are properly wicked and burned, the flame tends to be steady. The wax has a soft, creamy surface. It does not become overly glossy or plasticky. After dinner, when the plates are cleared and the room quiets, the candle often still looks beautiful without collapsing. And this matters because candles at a breakfast table, lunch with friends, or a long dinner are not just light sources, they are visual anchors. They sit in the center of the room and they are seen up close. If they look harsh or synthetic after burning, it changes the atmosphere. Many people don't talk openly about it, but there is a quiet concern. What am I inhaling? Paraffin wax is petroleum based. When burned, it can produce more soot. Plant-based waxes, including soy and rapeseed, are generally considered cleaner burning when paired with the right wick and no synthetic fragrance overload. Unscented candles especially reduce indoor air irritation. And if you are hosting breakfast, lunch, afternoon tea, or dinner, scent competes with food. It changes taste perception. It can trigger headaches for sensitive guests. So, unscented plant based pillars or tapers become not only aesthetic choices, but considerate ones. Calm and health are often created by what is absent. There is also a design question. Does it look and feel luxurious? Rapeseed wax naturally has a soft matte finish, a warm ivory tone. It feels quiet and elegant, and in many ways that aligns with European idea of luxury. Luxury as material integrity. If you've never heard much about rapeseed wax before, that's understandable. It was never loudly branded, but sometimes what is local, what is quieter, what is regionally grown deserves attention not because it is trendy, but because it belongs to the landscape we already live in. Next time you light a candle at your table, you might ask a simple question. Where did this material begin? And what kind of atmosphere does it create? Not just visually, but ethically. True calm at home does not come from grand gestures. It comes from understanding what we invite into our spaces. Thank you for being here. I'll see you in the next episode of Energy and Space.